for Muleshoe.
Thank you very much.
And there's been part of our big success is Christian ethics, and his work ethics have been very important to Muleshoe. I've seen him. He's one of the most skillful superintendents I've seen in juggling decisions. And I can see him juggling 7 things at one time, and I'm saying, it's time to do something. It's time. And he'll say, no, just wait. And then when he does it, it works out for everyone, and it works out for the staff, and it works out for the kids. And he's done a great job with some of those things. I've seen him work out, juggle some things as far as being a bus driver, to doing things to the legislature. When we got fined at the first of the year, I said, Dr. Sheets, I'm having trouble getting this bus department going. I can't figure out. I said, I have a CDL, and I said, I think I'm going to have to drive a bus some. And I looked at him, he goes, well, no one knows I have a CDL also. Woo! Well, that happened. And first 2 weeks of school, Dr. Sheets drove a bus. And I'm not sure how many superintendents in the state would be willing to do that, to make sure that we got the kids to school, to help the kids have success. So I appreciate Dr. Sheets on that. As far as on the legislative side, he's always able to keep up with things. It's so interesting, during Mother's Day, my in-laws took me to a dinner in Lubbock at a real high-class restaurant, and they brought the newspaper clipping from the Lubbock newspaper and handed it to me. And on that day, Dr. Sheets had taken time to address one of our, I guess it was the Lieutenant Governor with it. And Dr. Sheets let the Lieutenant Governor know how much he kind of dissed the public teachers in the state of Texas. And he did a great job on that letter to the editor in the Lubbock paper. So Dr. Sheets has done a lot of things, and I want to just kind of have open mic time right now for
All right. Hi. Dr. Sheets, I just want you to know it's been an honor to work with you.
I take back my recommendation.
And most of you thought that I was out of stories, and I really was. But most of you know that I'm married to a wonderful man, and his name is Dale. And Dale is one of Dr. Sheets' special friends. So when we got a notice about open mic, I said, Dale, can you help me know what to say? And for those of you that know Dale, he did. Dr. Sheets got a new phone this year. And all of us have known Dr. Sheets on the phone, and we think he is a pro. He put all of his friends in it and his staff, and Dale made the list. Did you know that D.A. Gallman comes before D.E. Debbie Gallman every time? Now that's fine, except when Dr. Sheets was sending administrative text messages. And Dale was getting them. Now Dale was good, he'd call and tell me, you gotta get this fixed. You gotta get this fixed. And in his words, he was saying, get it fixed. So I called Dr. Sheets and I told him. He said, I've got it. Well, Dale kept getting the text messages. So I called Dr. Sheets and I told him again. He said, I've got it. Dale finally said, I'll tell you if it's important. I had no idea if I've gotten any more text messages or not. There was also a time in Dr. Sheets' life that he wanted to be a farmer. And my husband Dale works on John Deere tractors. And Dr. Sheets was going to buy land, and it was going to be CRP land, and he had to shred it. So he got the John Deere tractor with the shredder and lessons from Dale on how to run it, and he goes to the field. And he's shredding along, and he is so proud of himself. It's amazing. Until he hit that riser, cut the top of it clean off. Water's going everywhere. Y'all think he doesn't panic? You think he can make a fast decision? He calls Dale, and he says, Dale! He tells him what happened, and he said, what do I His is Farmer Gene. He says, well, Farmer Gene, what do you think you need to do? He sat there in dead silence and he said, turn off the well. Dead silence on the other end of the phone for a long period of time. You can hear the rain hitting the cab of the tractor, the water. And finally he goes, oh yeah, that'll turn off the water. Those of you that know my husband Dale, you can put the last sentence in. But in education, Dr. Sheets, all of us want to make a difference. And you have. As you look around this district, you see the facilities we have, all the things that are done for kids to make sure that we have the best staff, the best equipment, the best of everything for our kids. And on a personal note, I thank you. I thank you for the challenge you give us every day to be better than we were the day before. So thank you very much.
I'm not as long-winded as everyone. I want y'all to stand up if y'all were here before Gene got here. All right. So what I have to say, y'all will know, you'll echo what I have to say. All right, y'all can sit down. Some people come and some people go. Some people come and leave and you never knew they were there. But some people come and leave their mark, stamp their mark. Gene, you have definitely stamped your mark on your shoe. We appreciate what you've done. You have left Muleshoe a much better place. But I appreciate your leadership, more importantly, your godly leadership, and your guidance for this district. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I've got several stories to tell, but he's still in charge till July 1. So next year at the opening deal, I will tell them stories. If y'all came around to his reception we had out here, his son Brandon give a talk. He was the last one to talk. And one of the main things he touched on was Dr. Sheets always going to the different deals, to the band contest, to the choir contest, to the one-act play, to the UIL, to all the sporting events. And you know, he even told one story. He said he called him and said, well, Dad, I'm graduating college Friday night. And Dr. Sheets said, well, son, I've got a band contest to attend to. You know? And he said, you know, you just graduated college. He said, I did that, but he's always wanting to get somewhere, but it seems like he's always running late. Well, several years ago, myself, Dr. Sheets, Coach Wood was at the architect's office in Lubbock, Texas. We were trying. Yes, I'm telling that story. Well,
embellish the story.
After about 7 hours of negotiation, we finally saved that $50 on building this gym. But to make things worse, we were running late. We had a ball game in Bushland, on the other side of Amarillo, from Lubbock. I don't know how far it is from there to Bushland, from Lubbock to Bushland, but when you're running late, he can get you there in a hurry. Now, about 95 miles an hour down that interstate. And everything was good. Now, I've been 95 miles an hour riding with somebody, but I was 18 at the time. So I turned red a while ago when he, you know, give that award to Lisa, but not near as red as I was because I was praying. Well, then he realized he didn't have his Muleshoe basketball shirt on. So going down the interstate, he changed his shirts. Going 95 miles an hour. But he did get a little help, and you coaches that have rode with him, David Wood reached over and grabbed the wheel, so you know I felt better then. You know I felt better. But no, what I want to tell you, we've had a great, me and him working together, we've had a great 13 years working together. Now, he's been here 15 and I've been here 20. But we've had a great 13 years. Not any one year in particular, but a few days here, a few days there. But no, Dr. Sheets, I want to say, It's a privilege to have worked with you all these years. You've done wonderful things here for Muleshoe Schools. And like David said, you've sure left your mark here, and that's what the sign of a good leader is when you can leave a place in way better shape than when you came. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Would somebody tell Harry he can come on in?
No, he's not.
No, your dad's not here. We saved you. We saved you. You owe us a big one. His dad wanted to come speak, and Dr. Sheets insisted that he did. I have a feeling he can tell way more than the rest of us can. We do just want to thank you for your years of service. I can't stand in one of these buildings and not realize how blessed we are. I've got, back in the day, it depended on where you lived as to which elementary school you went to. I attended Mary DeShazo. I attended Richland Hills Elementary, the junior high, and Muleshoe High School. And I cannot stand in one of these buildings without crying and realizing how blessed we are in Muleshoe, Texas, that we have the facilities that we have. And that would not have happened without your leadership. You put the right team together to talk to this community, to pass the bond, and I'm grateful. Thank you for leading us to build the future one student at a time.
Now the mic's on. Thank you very much. It's been a blessing for us to be here, and I've told several of you we didn't intend to stay 15 years. But when we got here, our family is here, and that's a real blessing for us. We really do love Muleshoe, and it's been great for me and my family. And you all have been a blessing to me, and I appreciate it. Appreciate the way you have helped me, have overlooked my faults, and have done your job anyway. And I appreciate that. Dr. Richards is going to do a great job. I think it's a blessing that we had an assistant superintendent who could make a very seamless transition. So I think for the future, I think it looks really bright. And I'm proud that he is going to be the superintendent here. And I'm proud to say I'm from Muleshoe. So thank you very much again. I appreciate it. To honor those who are retiring. And first, retiring after 7 years in Muleshoe. She worked in New Mexico, came over here and worked 7 years, and is now retiring here. Kathy Van Dievender. Worked here 12 years, did a great job for us in several different capacities. He's retired, as his wife has, of course, retired, came back, and she's really retired now. They've been a real blessing to the school. Retiring after 15 years here in Muleshoe is the superintendent, Gene Sheets. Yeah. After 21 years in Muleshoe ISD, retiring is Brenda Black. She has a little skip in her step, doesn't she? After 23 years, retiring from Dillman, Gina Martis. Hey, hold on. What do you call your name down here? Gina Martis is retiring after 23 years.
Yay!
After 24 years, Chris Martis. We're down to our elementary, secondary teacher of the year, and staff member of the year. We're going to start with the secondary teacher of the year. This will be presented by Jay Messenger, president of Muleshoe State Bank. The cash award and the golden apple are provided by Muleshoe State Bank and First Bank of Muleshoe. Phil Kent was out of town, couldn't be here today, so Mr. Messenger has agreed to present all of the awards. We appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support of our Teacher of the Year awards. If you have, cash, it's a cash award, We had several deserving teachers this year. It's a very difficult decision. Both of the teachers, elementary and secondary teacher of the year that we named today will advance to the regional competition, Region 17 competition, and hopefully on to the state competition later. The 2015 secondary teacher of the year was born in Amherst, Texas. They graduated from Muleshoe High School in 2001. That was my first class that graduated when I came, 2001. These people getting younger and younger every year. She was a 4-year letterman in basketball. She was excellent in the discus and track. In the yearbook, it says she was voted the Princess of Friendship. We have 2 of those, that I know of. Yes, we do have another one, Miss Hetherington. Princess of Friendship. She was also voted the best citizen and the most likely to brighten your day. How would you like that? That's pretty neat. She wears a lot of hats, but she wears them graciously and energetically. Well, how many hats can one teacher wear? Well, how about ESL teacher, art teacher, teacher representative on our LPAC committee, and ESL inclusion teacher? She administers the TELPAS test. She's the lone administrator, the only administrator for the STAR L. She traveled to Austin to serve on committees that deal with state testing. She tutors junior high students after school, high school students after school. She translates for art meetings. She calls parents and teachers who cannot speak Spanish, communicates. And this year, she was assistant director for our one-act play. On top of all that, she's a busy wife and mom of 2 sons. She takes students that arrive in our district that have never been in a United States school at all. And she embraces them. She makes them feel comfortable. She gives them a learning environment that makes them feel secure. She encourages them to be a part of our school. The progress these students make is remarkable. She gets to know each of the parents of the families. She spends most of her morning not only teaching these students English and content, but also teaching them manners and customs of our country. The parent representative of the LPAC committee this year, it meets several times a year, had to walk to the junior high for the meetings. And as soon as Mrs. Tommy Stiles realized that our representative had to walk to the campus to help with the meeting, she began to pick him up, began to translate for him, take him home after the meeting. Her kindness shows in everything she does. She's the only teacher on the junior high campus that administers 3 different types of state assessments. When we receive our TELPAS scores, Tommy is the one that was overcome with tears in her eyes this year. She's overcome with pride of the advancement her students have made. All of that happens every morning. Now let's talk about the afternoon. Afternoon, she teaches 4 sections of art with 20 26 students in each classroom. They love art, and they love all the projects they get to work on. Mrs. Stiles displays their artwork in the halls. She's entered several of her students' work in the art contest at Eastern New Mexico University. She delivered the artwork to the school and then took the students that were chosen to be to Portales to be recognized in the evening. She's organized, she's efficient, dependable. She has a tremendous work ethic, and she genuinely loves her students. She differentiates instruction to every student. She's always thinking of new teaching methods to help her students learn English and be successful in the general education curriculum. Tommy Stiles has a heart of gold that inspires everyone she meets. She has morning duty various times during the year, but she's requested to work someone else's morning duty several times just to help her. She's very positive and never says an unkind word about anybody. She arrives every morning with a smile on her face. She's a very genuine person that cares deeply for the students and staff at the junior high. She does all this with an inspiring attitude. She's always cheerful. She's always encouraging. She exemplifies one that loves her job and school. She's proud to be a Muleshoe graduate and wants what's best for Watson and her hometown. She's a tremendous asset to our school, and the students are very fortunate to have her as a teacher. She's taught 9 years, all of them at Watson Junior High in Muleshoe. And the secondary Teacher of the Year for 2015 is Mrs. Tommy Stiles. Yeah, he knew all along. He did. Thank you. Congratulations. She started school in Muleshoe in the first grade after her parents decided to make Muleshoe their home. She did not speak a word of English. And she described school as being tough, very difficult in the beginning. She graduated from Muleshoe High School with honors while working at Decorator's Flower Shop. And then she started Clovis Community College with a mindset of a business degree. And so she became a teacher's assistant at Watson Junior High for a while. And after a couple of years, she married her boyfriend of several years, Ricky Diaz. She left her job to focus on her family. After having her 2 wonderful children, Yvonne and Ricky, she decided to return to college. She went to Eastern New Mexico University, and using her experience in Watson Junior High and realizing how much she loved being around children, she decided to leave the business degree behind, and she graduated with a teaching degree instead. While making plans to start her student teaching, an opportunity opened up for her to teach 2nd grade. And she accepted. She's been teaching 2nd grade for many years. She has taken the struggles she went through as a child due to the language barrier, and she's created a career where she helps children who are starting off in the same place. Along with teaching, she's also served in various roles in our community. She served on Little Dribblers Board of Directors for 7 years. She's been a volunteer for the Catholic Church. She's now treasurer for the Fine Arts Boosters. She's always worked hard to reach her goals, but her priority has always been her family and her students. One who recommended her said, Dora Diaz has this uniqueness about her. She shows love, concern, and support for her students. We work with our special needs students, and she shows the most compassion for them that I've ever seen in a teacher. She includes them as she would her other students. It takes a very special person to honestly and truly interact with these students and accept them as equals. When you walk in her class, there's always a smile. She may be feeling sick or sad about something out of the clear blue, then hugs come out and laughter begins. Before you know it, the whole class is laughing. She made posters one time for one special education student that communicates by signing. She kept trying to learn how she could better help this student. Nothing negative phases her. She has compassion for her students, goes out of her way to make the room inviting for her parents, and makes an awesome connection with them. She's always reinventing teaching methods for her strugglers so they're successful. I can see her concern if the students continue to struggle. She doesn't pity them, she shows them they're important and celebrates their successes. One day, one of Mrs. Diaz's special needs students was messing with his feet at recess. The child had had a tough time at home, and Mrs. Diaz noticed that his socks were filthy. And when she removed one of them, she noticed that the bottom of his feet was in horrible shape. They were dirty, dry, and full of calluses. She brought him into the office. She took it upon herself to clean his feet with a wet towel, remove all the caked on dirt, and moisturize them. Sounds kind of familiar. So I've heard another story like that somewhere. She then got him new socks to wear. The student was so happy. And although he doesn't speak, it was obvious he was grateful. And as he refers to her, Mom made his day. She felt horrible that this hadn't been done at home, but she stepped up, like many of our other teachers do, to help kids who are in bad situations. She's mastered the art of being firm but fair, having rules yet maintaining rapport, and remembering that though she teaches a distinct content area, she is truly teaching children, whom she freely offers love, acceptance, and respect, no matter their physical or intellectual differences. She has 2 of our Down syndrome kiddos in her class. They're both bilingual, but really they have very little language at all. She has brought these 2 kids further socially in this 1 year than anyone thought possible. She understands that special needs students can grow like all students, and she understands her role in helping the children bond with their classmates. After all, she will be there for them just 1 year. They're often there for each other the rest of their public school lives. So she begins preparing for these students years before they're ready for her class. She'll see them coming down the hall in their tiny little bodies from kindergarten and greet them and show them respect. Soon, she is inviting them into her classroom and giving them little treasures from her treasure box. Often it's just a quick hello and goodbye, but she starts building a relationship. Before the school year, this year, she spent extra time and money on sign language charts and hung them so that her students could see, the student who was struggling could see and could communicate easily with her. She teaches with a no-nonsense approach, but with a sparkle in her eye and kindness in her heart. Her students love her. There's a quote that says, "The single most important thing about having a successful classroom is relationship building." If you don't have a relationship, you can know the content inside and out, and it's not going to matter. And Dora Diaz does one of the best jobs I've seen at building relationships, not only with her students, but also with her parents. Dora began as a TA at Watson Junior High and spent 4 years there. And then now she's taught 10 years as a second grade teacher at Gilman Elementary. She's the daughter of Jesus and Cruz Barrera. The elementary teacher of the year is Dora Diaz. This is not all of her family either. Imagine if all her family came. There's a lot of them. Y'all can sit down somewhere. Staff Member of the Year Award. Staff Member of the Year Award will go to a staff member nominated by a fellow faculty or staff member at Muleshoe ISD. We had a difficult time selecting staff member of the year as we did teachers. We had several nominated. They were all very deserving of the award. If you were a former, we started this not too long ago, so there's not very many, but if you were a former staff member of the year, if you've been selected as staff member of the year, would you please stand? Let us recognize you. Former staff member of the year. The staff member of the year grew up in Ohio. And so I'm not sure how come we hired this person. Did we know that when I don't know if we knew that. Anyway, the staff member of the year grew up in Ohio and graduated at the top of her class. She attended a business college and focused on business administration and accounting. And the skills and knowledge she acquired there would further her career when she became owner and president of Synergy Communications Group, Inc. in 2000, a company which she still owns and administers today. Just as she excels in her career, she also excels in her home life as well. Through 24 years of marriage, she has balanced raising her 2 sons, 2 stepchildren, numerous dogs and cats, having a healthy marriage with John, a career, and all of the other demands of a busy family, including JC, Zach, Stephen, and Jessica. In 2008, she expanded her business to Texas. It was decided that a rural lifestyle and a smaller company presence would allow more time for family as well as pursuing other interests. That's when she came to Muleshoe ISD. She immediately became aware that working within the school system was truly where she was meant to be. One recommendation that we received on Lori Taylor said, "Lori truly makes a difference in many lives. She tutors all kids interested in learning and passing. She gives of her time and true commitment to students. She never says no. She works just as hard as any dedicated teacher. She has a true passion for helping students achieve success. She's the best." Lori's the type of person who will help someone, young or old. If she sees a need, she's going to be proactive and doesn't even wait to be asked to help. She jumps right in and volunteers to help. She not only makes sure all of her special education students are taken care of, but she helps anyone in any class that needs it. Usually the kids are circled up around her when they're working on her homework. She also will make sure the math classes go on when teachers have to be away. I know of 3 seniors, I personally know 3 seniors that would not be graduating tonight if it wasn't for her compassion, or maybe her prodding and pulling them along and jerking them along until they graduated today, finished today. And there's probably more than that. She stays after school and helps all students, special ed students and other students, without question. She runs the math classroom when a teacher's not there. She's a great math teacher, and she's just a great teacher. We're all hoping she will go back to school and get certified.
Amen.
Lori is famous for telling us all about a student who's about to give up, or maybe others who are about to give up on the student. And she says, "I love that kid, so let me work with him or her." She's just a positive force on this campus. She cares about how the students in our high school behave and learn. Certainly there's other teachers who are involved with Lori, with the students who she's reached, but Lori has worked tirelessly with students and educators alike, demonstrating selfless giving of both her time and knowledge. And she works with students who are challenging. She has been and continues to be an inspiration to all. Not to mention her influence with her fashion sense and great shoes. Lori has worked for Muleshoe High School for 6 years. The 2015 Staff Member of the Year, Lori Taylor.